Hello. All right, so it's been a few days since I uploaded anything, and I just wanted to come on and share some love with all of you. Let me readjust my angle. There we go. Okay, so I wanted to upload a more personal video. I wanted to share a little bit more of myself with all of you. So I want to talk about, I guess we can talk about like my coming out story, being transgendered or transsexual, in my terms means that, what I define it is that you're born one gender, but recognize yourself as another or the opposite. Because that's what you feel inside. For me, I was born male, but my family all knew that I was going to be different, because I was always attracted to Barbies and girls' toys, and I was always very feminine. I wasn't very masculine. My dad tried to buy me like G.I. Joe figurines, and I was definitely not interested. And it was very difficult for them to understand. My mom knew exactly that I was going to be this way. A lot of my family on my mom's side pretty much had a general idea. They could tell. The family on my dad's side, a lot of them made fun of me. A lot of them would act like they loved me, but then would talk shit behind my back. They still do to this day. I can count on like maybe one or two hands, who I can definitely say is there for me on my Samoan side, so it's kind of different. That's a whole nother story that we'll get into at a later time. Excuse my eyes for being red. I just got off of work. I almost worked an open to close shift today, so and I know that I haven't uploaded anything in a while, so I wanted to come on and just share a little bit more about actually myself versus like a makeup tutorial or a hair tutorial. So my family had an idea, everyone had an idea that I was gonna be feminine, soft, gay, whatever you'd like to call it. A lot of hateful words would even describe it as like a fag. Okay. But I knew that that's not who I was. Who I saw in the mirror was not who I felt on the inside. I used to, when I was a child, the youngest memory that I have that I could ever recall was that I liked boys, and I knew that it was wrong. I was in school and I would be confused, why are girls girls and boys boys, and why do I feel so different? It's a very challenging psychological thing to comprehend at such a young age. I wouldn't even wish this on like my worst enemy's children. I wouldn't wish this on anyone because it's really more psychological than physical. That's a whole nother ball game. So being that my dad is full Samoan, born in American Samoa, English is his second language. It was very difficult for him to understand. A lot of people get the misconception that Samoans raise their children to be fa'afafine because of some documentary in the 90s or whatever. And the honest to God's truth is that's quite the opposite. It's either 50-50 with the Samoan culture. You're either accepted and loved for whatever it is you wish that you are, or want to choose your life to be, or how you want to live your life, or you're in a very religious family and it's very taboo. Some ones are very religious to the core, and I am not dogging on them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying it's normally 50-50 as far as the acceptance goes with the someones. I think that in our day and age, I'd like to hope that in 2019 it's more accepted than anything, but I do know that there's quite a few someones who their sons are still haven't really transitioned because they're embarrassed or ashamed or scared they're gonna be like, kicked out or like not accepted for who they are truly, which is very, very sad. But my dad, he knew that everyone knew that I was gonna be like this. So it was when I was 16 that I seen a psychologist, and was trying to figure out the right words to say, because my family just thought I was going to be gay. They had no idea that I was going to start to transition to a female. And my mom supported me and knew that this is what I wanted and this is who I was meant to be. And at first, my dad told me that I had to wait till he passed away because he just started to get sick with his diabetes. He told me I had to wait till he passed away to start living my life. I cried because I told him that I couldn't wait. And it was at that moment that my dad went on his own and did research on transgender women and why they do what they do in their lifestyle. And he made up his own decision on his own time and came around to accept me for who I was. Complete 180 from what he told me the first time when I tried to tell him. It was also during that time that his health was declining, and I think he realized that his time on earth was very limited. And it was very, very emotional because I finally got that acceptance and love from my father that I've always wanted. And at the same token, he was fading away right before my eyes. I can never explain to anyone what it's like to lose a parent. Unfortunately, it's something that we all experience in this lifetime. It definitely makes you open your eyes a lot more, open your ears a lot more, close your mouth a lot more. You look at things differently, you feel things differently, you think differently. It's a very depressing time. My dad was a big football star from Nanakuli High School. Golden Hawks, true and true. We would go to grocery stores and people would be like, hey, you're Tala. Oh my God, I used to watch you play football. And I used to be like, wow, that's my dad. My dad is so fucking cool. And they used to be like, oh, whatever happened to your son? Is he playing football? Who's he playing for? Because they would, here in Hawaii, football is a huge, huge thing. And, normally when big players end up having children, it's expected that their sons carry their legacy. And I will never forget when someone asked him, what happened to your son? Where's he? Who's he playing for? I was right next to him. And I just looked down because I felt really embarrassed for my dad. And I felt bad. I felt bad because I couldn't do that for him. And I wasn't the football player that I should have been. that he deserved. And it was at that moment that he looked at that person and said, I have 2 daughters. And I just started to cry. And he was like, I have 2 daughters. I never had a son. And they looked at him and they're like, what? And he was like, yeah, I have 2 daughters. And it was the moment like that that cannot hold any value in money. It's priceless. It's worth more than gold and diamonds. And it's something that I will always treasure in my heart. I'm so sorry, I'm getting emotional. It was a very, very emotional time for me to feel that love from my father, that pure love that's always been there. But it felt so much better when I got to be who I felt on the inside. But then at the same token, to be so depressed to see him fading away because of his illness. And, you know, I've always been a special kind of child. Like I have flashbacks where I was growing up in Eva Beach and I would love to sing and dance and just put on shows for no one, mind you. Like I used to stand on chairs in the yard and sing and perform, and you know, and there was nobody watching. There was nobody in the crowd. There was nobody there. I looked weird. But I've just always been different, you know, and I cannot express to you how many people have told me, you know, I have a friend who thinks that their child is transgender. Can they sit with you and talk with you? And I'm always open for that. I've never tried to instill people, this is how you should approach it or whatever. I just kind of always told people that you should just let your child go through the motions. Maybe it's a phase, maybe it's not, you know, like just be there. I can't tell you how many times I tried to commit suicide when I was, you know, going through those preteen stages because I didn't understand psychologically what was going on and that I was okay and that I was gonna be okay. It's a very, very hard thing to go through mentally, and don't even get me started about the physically, because that's a whole nother chapter. But I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit about myself. I wanted to share with you guys a little bit about my coming out story, even though it really wasn't a coming out story. Everyone pretty much knew. I've just been really fortunate enough to have the love and support from my family. And when I say family, I mean my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, her children, like my immediate family, and as well as my extended family, like my cousins, my aunties and uncles, majority on my Hawaiian side, partially on my Samoan side. They love me, but it's a very different kind of love because some of them are very, I don't even think I have the right words to choose for that, but I'm just gonna say that it's there on my Samoan side, but I just feel like for the longest time on my father's side of the family, I was a joke. They made fun of me. They were talking about me and making, you know, a mockery of me and stuff like that. And, you know, it's just very sad to experience that from your own family. And there was a point in time where they came around and they were calling me by my, the name that I wanted to go by, which is actually my middle name. And everything was fine, but, you know, it's sad. Anyways, I'm just so thankful for everything that I have, all the love and support that I have, all of the people who message me and thank me just for being me. I turn around and message them and say, no, thank you for being you, and thank you for even spending your time to even listen to the words that I say, because you could be spending it elsewhere. So I'm thankful. But yeah, I love my mom and dad so much, even though my mom gets on my nerves sometimes. I love them so dearly, and I can't imagine having any other parents. I really am grateful for everything that they've given us, and I'm thankful that I got to be a part of my dad's life, and that I got to experience so much pure love from him. Other than that, that's my coming out story. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube. Please turn on the notifications if you can. I would really appreciate it. If not, thank you for spending your 16 minutes and 30 seconds watching my story. I hope that it helps and resonates in some of you. I hope that, you know, if you know someone who's having issues accepting their child, that you can tell them, hey, watch this video. I hope that if there's anything that I can do from making this video, if I could help one person in the world, I can rest tonight knowing that I made a difference. And I'm truly thankful and grateful for the opportunity to be a part of everyone who watches, whether it's good, bad, haters, whatever it may be. I thank you, I love you, and I will be posting another video ASAP. Take care, guys.